about you guys, but I just love walking in the woods trying to find rubs like this. Even though this is a small tree and possibly, very likely, going to be a small buck, even though it's a small buck, every big buck has to start out like this. Every big buck has to have a small set of racks, and that small set of rack has potential to grow into a big booner. Now that's what we want here, big rack bucks and big mature bucks on Beaten Path Outdoors. So a common misconception about rubs is that there's only one type of rub. A lot of people think about this because they just think it's a buck trying to get his velvet off his antlers by rubbing it against a tree like this. Now that is right, that is correct in some sense. There's actually three types of rubs like this. There's an aggressive rub where the buck, sorry about that, but there's a buck rubbing all of its aggression, maybe having aggression, can't find a doe, rubs it and takes it out on this tree. There's the second type of rub is an exercise rub. Before the prime rut starts, deer rub against trees that have resistance so it can build muscles in the back of its necks and shoulders. That's how they win fights, just like how MMA fighters train. And the other type of rub is a signpost. Now this is actually a signpost rub. Let me get down on a knee right here. This is actually a signpost rub, and a signpost rub is where there's a rub line. Now, to my right, or for you it's to my left, but to my right there's another rub that's really, really old. And I would love to show you that right there, but I'll get to that in another clip right here. But there's a really old tree, and before that there's another tree that's been rubbed but still old. And a signpost rub is basically where it starts off on one tree, rubs it down, walks down another 10, 15 yards, maybe even a couple feet, and rubs it down. Now, this is it's still hunting season, late season bow in here in New Jersey, but I'm not hunting right now because I already have 2 deer in the freezer, a big buck that I just shot on camera. You guys can scroll and find that video, and a big doe. You can also find that video on my channel here. But so I'm really scouting for next season basically. So this is a prime spot where I can find where the deer are coming through and where they're going to, where they're coming from and where they're going to. And you can basically tell this because your tripod right here is actually standing on a huge trail right here, and it goes down, and this is hot spot for deer, bucks and does that walk across the woods like this. Now in New Jersey, the bucks are starting to drop their antlers in 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. So when they start dropping their antlers, I'm just gonna come straight down here, find where the old rubs are, and just keep walking this path, because there's actually a big chance of me finding a rub or a deer antler shed right next to here on the trail than just me walking anywhere. So this is actually a good way to get where the deer is going to and coming from. And it also helps you find sheds, and that's a little bonus right here. But I have my little note card that tells me all the stuff that I'm telling you right now. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about when you're hunting, maybe early season bow, or excuse me, but maybe even late season bow, early shotgun season. You're gonna want to use scents on these rubs if you're not getting huge action, because even though there might be a rub that's super old and the bucks know there's not activity, but if you spray a little bit of scent on there, maybe some gel paste from another deer from company, it will make this rub hot. In the hunting industry it's called, but basically that means that the deer are tricked into thinking that this rub has been used by another deer. And believe it or not, deer will use other deer's rubs just to mark their territory and be like, I'm the new guy here and I'm taking anybody on who's here, so I'm not messing around. That's what basically they're telling here. The scents I would use on this rub right here is a buck urine scent sprayed on the bottom of the tree, maybe even rough off the spot like a deer scraping on the ground. But personally, I would use a pre-orbital scent by Raccoon Settlers. I'll paste it over this video right here. But I would use that, and basically that is the gel from the eye. So when they're rubbing it, let's say the stick was the antler. They're rubbing it. Their eye crack right here has a gel, and it places it all over the tree, and it basically gives off a scent of a new buck. So when a buck finds that, it's thinking that there's a new deer here, and they're coming to this spot on a daily basis, basically. Another scent that I would use is the Climax scent in gel form. I can use it in spray form, but I would like to use it in gel form. I'll put it right here from Raccoon Scentlords. You can go to their company in the website below. But basically that is, I would make like a fake scrape, maybe even not on the bottom of this, maybe even on the side of this. I would make a fake scrape, rough up the ground like this, rough it up, acting like there's a buck been there. And I would get a fake looking branch, I would break over a tree, rough it up by an antler like that, and have it hang over, so when a deer like comes up and like rubs us down, they bite on this and stuff like that. So I would do that and spray the Climax scent or paste the Climax scent on the gel on the ground. Excuse me, but basically that is telling you that a buck's been there. It's not messing around. It wants any other buck. No one's there, basically. So that's all I got to say, and I filled out my note card right here. But yeah, hopefully this video will help you. Thank you. This is Luke Slack from Be a Path Outdoors. Thanks for watching.